Oh. Okay, it's just that dumb. Boy, YouTube, you sure are a pain in the ass all the time. So, actually, that's a good thing, but also a confusing thing. I found out that the new YouTube decides you have to basically start the stream and then click on YouTube on a specific button to go live. Sure love that. Hey y'all. Alright, everything looks to be working just fine. Yep. So like I was like starting my stream and I was like, wait, why isn't it working? You have to go in a very specific live stream place to actually click the go live button. I don't understand why it's this way. Because for some reason now you have not one, not two, but like three options for YouTube for live streams, whatever options. It doesn't work in the first. It doesn't work in the second. It's like in the third newest one that has like a lock in place unless you click the lock. It's weird. Anyway, I think this should be fine. So, well, at least it works now. And now I understand what was the issue. Thank God. Hopefully it didn't take too long for me to realize. So, yeah, it's definitely quite clunky. It's YouTube. So, as per usual, just to go over how we work here for the maybe one or two people who don't know how we work. We go through Discord. We have a section in Discord called Show Me Your Build. I typically just do a line of equals to signify the start, and then people just type the emote delete this, which is the one with gem key on my Discord. Then after a while, I basically just use a random number generator to select who it is that I pick. Then, as per usual, you can actually join me on the Discord chat to talk to me about your build, or you can just write what you feel about your build instead if you feel too shy or if you think your accent is too thick to be too understandable. I think most of it is already written in the description. It should be. If there's a part that is a bit harder to understand, just read the description. It probably will say it better than I would. I tend to be more eloquent when I get to write instead of talk, but anyway, let's get this started. Alright, you just have to basically write the emote now on the Show Me Your Build section of the Discord. Hello, Shipaponi. Hey, Tactician. That's extreme wishful thinking. I mean, yeah. Oh, quite a few people. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to give it another 30 seconds. So how are you all doing? Hey, Emmy. Oh, and for those who are curious, I've already got everything ready to record the refined tier list update. So, should be out tonight, I want to say. We'll see. Oh god, we got so much snow last week. I'm doing okay. A bit sleepy, but that's just my sleep schedule trying to just re-screw itself. Oh, I do not sleep too well these days. Alright. Random number generator. Six people. The number is 4. Maro, you're up. We literally have too much snow right now. In goddamn November. We how can I put it this way? We've gotten actually I should probably go in the Discord channel. There we go. We've gotten, I believe, I'm going to put this in inch so Americans can actually understand what I mean. I think we've gotten like 10 to 12 inches of snow in like 2 days. Remember, we're in November. We're not even like officially in winter. We're still in autumn. Let that sink in. It's ridiculous.
Hello there.
Right. Alright, try talking now.
Like this?
Yeah, okay, good. I forgot to put my headset on.
It's okay.
Let me just take this, put this in paint net, and just cut the edge. Is that supposed to be a bad thing?
Huh?
No, I'm just reading my chat.
Oh, okay.
No, he didn't get pulled, he was just added. Or rather, he just joined. Let's see here. Just increase your volume just a bit. God, it's been a while since we've done Show Me Your Build.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, Jesus, that's a lot. Darting Blow 4. Don't know about Darting Blow 4. That sounds kind of wasteful.
Yeah, I just added it because I had.
I guess it was Alm and you wanted no follow-up, so you just added it on top of it.
Yep.
Okay. Steady Posture, Steady Breath, DC, Wings of Mercy, Renewal, Guard, Wrath, Threaten, Attack, Attack, Ploy, Infantry, Pulse. Ignis, Aether, Luna, Noontime, Dragon Fang, Ruptured Sky, and for some reason Pavis. I find Dragon Fang more surprising than Pavis, to be honest. Yeah, because even if you're buffed, you do like 30 damage with Dragon Fang, but on the other hand, you do with just a buff in defense, or I guess a buff in res, that would be 32 damage with Glacies.
Oh. I didn't
Uh,
know that.
yeah, because Dragon Fang is 50% of your attack, whereas Ignis/Glacies is 80% of the stat. Because there's no weapon attached to it.
Okay.
The YouTube delay is not that low, it's just that I don't always pay attention to my chat. I tend to, try to pay attention to the person for show me your build over the chat, and then I answer the chat a lot later than I see it. So here is my second plus 10 unit, Libera. He became my favorite green mixed phase unit since he is almost self-sufficient. I'm sure you'll find why he is not. So with wall gun speed at plus 10, he can get at a point where not many units can double him, thus not getting in a bad spot where he takes too much damage and guard don't work. That depends on the team comp, though I suppose that just depends on the team comp, really. His attack helps him to heal after a fight with the help of the plus 10 damage from the axe combined with high defense, and guard makes him a good tank that can self-heal consistently and get him back in guard range to tank the next hit. Threat and attack helps reduce the enemy's attack so he doesn't get too low, and repo helps him to keep other units safe. Where they attack, he repo. Oh, okay, basically you make them attack and he repos them backward. So he can take the hit. P.S. Can you please suggest a better build for him with all those skills? I guess the main reason why he's not too self-sufficient is because he lacks in damage somewhat. Attack respawn is also a weird choice.
Attack respawn is just there, to be honest.
If you have a unit that buffs your speed already, I mean, you can literally just drop the refine that you have for speed. Because at that point you already are sitting at 46 speed. 46 speed typically is enough, and if you really need the speed, you can just run drive speed as a seal on someone, for example. And then you can just run a def refine, so you have 40 defense and 39 res on enemy phase. It means you have more bulk this way. And the speed is not really hurt that much. You still have 46 speed as a result, and your attack is at 60, so actually 65 with the bond. I don't know about the threat and attack though. That's a weird one. I almost want to say you should go, say, res refine or something like this, because you'd be able to use ploys more consistently and actually abuse your C slot a lot better.
Okay.
It would mean you'd have 41 def, 38 res instead of, I believe, what is it, 40, 39, which is a bit slightly worse, but the fact that you can use attack ploy as your C skill instead of threat and attack would essentially mean that your bulk overall would just gain a straight up buff. Threat and attack is a bit inconsistent for the single fact that if you have to deal with a ranged unit or any unit that you're not exactly in range of, then threat and attack doesn't really help you all that much. So attack ploy is probably your ideal choice there, but 34 res is too low, which is why you would want a res refine to push that to 38. If you do that though, the bond will have to be switched to attack def bond instead, because I mean no point in going for like 43 res and leave your attack at 30, your defense at 36. Sorry.
Okay. So kind of switch the refund on Wogan to plus res.
Yes.
And give him. Okay.
Yes, you'd switch the refine to res. Obviously, that's only if your team already provides the 6 speed, because otherwise your speed is going to be too low. But
my team is just that all offensive. I don't set anything. Just go at it.
Another thing also you could do is if you run Brave Lucina with this team.
Oh yeah, Brave Lucina.
Because that would mean you could just drop Steady Breath altogether and instead just run something like Distant Counter. You'd be
Yeah,
able to just... Hmm?
I killed all my Brave Lucinas before she get the refine. Yeah, one day before she got the refine, I killed her for Libra. Gave him Aether and yeah, I
Well,
had like 4.
well, actually, let me just check the goddamn schedule now. Just swear to God. When does Lucina appear again? Oh, in
In
like
the future.
in 2 weeks. She comes back November 30. So you'd be able to just pick one there. Because Brave Lucina with that refine is just really good with Libera. Libera is one of the best unit to really abuse Brave Lucina with because he's good in every stats. So what Brave Lucina gives you is just like 3 to all stats, which is just in general really useful. Like you're going to use the attack, you're going to use the speed, you're going to use the def, you're going to use the res. And on top of that, it basically gives you the breath effect, so you can just run something like Distant Counter, or you could just run something like Warding Stance 4 or Steady Stance 4, which means that guard becomes useless, so you could run something like Mystic Boost instead. It just opens a lot of options, because your A skill is like one of the most important skills. Also, 21 Dweebs, the way you participate, you just have to read the description, it's all there. So, but yeah, to go back to this, Brave Lucina would be fantastic with this team comp. Well, this team comp. I don't know what the entire team comp is. I just know that there's Libera, and Libera really likes to abuse Brave Lucina's buffs. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else I could really add to this. Well, actually, oh, well, I guess Marrow left a bit early, but I was going to say since he has the, oh, is it Hackle Lantern? Yes, the Hackle Lantern. You could also switch for that weapon instead, and because he already has guard in that weapon, you'd be able to run something else in the B skill also. But yeah, I guess we'll move on to someone else. Oh yeah, he also has Raph. Raph would be excellent with this. Oh, another thing you can do with Raph is something similar to what Ira runs, which is like Ragnalastra double brazen with Raph. Um, double brazens doesn't tend to really work on a whole lot of units, but Libera has the speed and bulk to make it work, and brazens are really good on him. In fact, if he just goes for pure offense with double brazens, an attack buff, he ends up with 74 attack, and 43 speed. And then if you have a speed buff on top of this, there you go. It's simple as that. With Wrath and Slaying Axe, you can just say proc Ruptured Sky, get hit, proc it again, since he has Ruptured Sky. Another thing is you can do the same thing, but with Moonbow if you're on a budget. Libera is one of the units that can use this set. Ira, but like with Ragnalastra, of course. Fur, Carol, Nyla, but she can't use Ruptured Sky because Beast unit can't use it. Ross is another unit that can use this. I think that's all the ones I can think of at the top of my head. Oh, hey, Maro. I will say, well, Libera is a solid axe unit, but it depends on what you're doing. Libera is a better tank.
Alright, but I'm not dead. I'm not dead, luckily.
What happened?
My internet died,
Ah, I
basically.
see.
Yeah. Just said F it and just got gone on a walk.
No.
Yep.
To answer you, Darky, though, Linus is kind of slightly better than Ross, but not by much. I would say just go for Ross over Linus. And if you're comparing Libra to Ross, Libra is more so for a tank, and Ross is better made for a damage dealer. But the thing with Libra is that he can be both a damage dealer, a tank. He can just be whatever you want, essentially. But
So
yeah, hmm?
he can kinda be, how to say, uh shit, I forgot.
He's a jack of all trade. That's the best way to describe him. He
Yeah.
just can do basically anything. It's just that characters that specialize in one thing will do that one thing better than he does.
Yeah.
Like Libra can just run double brazen attack with like brazen attack dev, brazen attack res with ruptured sky, slaying axe, and wrath. You can do this set really well, but Ross will outdo him slightly at high merges.
Yeah. But kinda Libra is in the 4-star to 3-star
Three to
hall.
four, 3 to 4 star, I believe.
Yeah. So it's kinda easier to plus 10M.
Nope. Ross is also at 3 to 4 star.
Oh,
He was just added to the
wait,
3 to 4 star unit immediately. He never got
wait.
demoted.
Who is Ross again?
Ross is the his father's son. It's
Uh,
it's a 3 to 4 star unit that got added to the game in the pool with the Sacred Stone banner.
oh, that boy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the one with 38 attack, 31 speed, and a super boon in attack.
yeah. I kinda rolled one plus attack minus res.
Oh, nice. I got
Pretty
one Woo
fun one.
Speed Plus, but he tends to be a really good damage dealer. I know I'm probably going to build Mind. I'm still debating on what I want to do, if I want to kill Grail for him, but that's another story.
Oh, you gonna plus M or just build to plus one?
Oh, probably plus 10. He's actually quite good, and he has the type of stat line I really want to work with.
Ah,
Though I already have a project I'll probably finish next month, and one that I might finish. What is it? Tonight or the day after? Whenever the Distant Counter banner drops, because I'm at the point where I need 2 Nylas to plus 10 my Nylas, and she might be on the Distant Counter banner.
she kinda will, yeah. Since she has DC and null C disrupt.
Hmm.
And she didn't appear on the null C disrupt banner, so she will appear on the DC banner.
I hope so. We'll see though. I might also plus 10 Minerva next month, but that's another story for another time.
Hmm.
But yeah, I also said other things while you were gone, so just not to repeat myself, you can just like rewatch that part whenever.
Yeah, 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 sure.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I suppose it's time to move on to someone else. Let
Yep.
me just
Right.
see.
Good luck.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Honestly, I've been debating with the idea of plus 10ing Minerva for the longest time, so it comes to no surprise. 8. Okay, so it's run to red. Just come in and show me your build room or text chat. That also is good. Yeah. Yeah, the thing with axe flyers is there's like 10 different axe flyers, and, well, to put it simply, out of those 10, 3 of them have the same stat line, and only one of them has a pref, so might as well say that we have 8 axe flyers at this point. So, yep, your next run too, Red. One moment. Alright, I'm back. Oh, my Minerva is currently +3, to be fair. Oh boy. Gotta find the folder again. Alright. There we go. I'm not even sure how this particular pref works again. It's armors and infantry? Let me check. My Minerva's +3 with attack plus, I believe. That's still not worse, Michaelis. Okay. Infantry or armored ally, okay. So she's meant to be in a mixed setting. This is mainly focused on tanking the hit, then to counter, then dance to take another unit? This set is really all over the place. 51, 57 speed, Jesus Christ. That's a bit overdoing it. It's a bit overdoing. What the hell am I even saying? That's a bit overkill, even. Like, Brazen is multi-phase. That's right. Bit of Near can be multi-phase, except the base effect, that's enemy phase. Death Respawn is also enemy phase. It's definitely quite awkward. Legendary Ike, Trazier, Legendary Azura. So you can indeed use tactics. You can indeed get +6 across the board. Right. Well, first off, I'll say one thing, and it's the fact that Brazen Attack speed is not really needed with this. You'd rather use Brazen Attack Def, because you already have plenty of speed with Vidofnir. You already like hit 50 speed because of Vidofnir, so the Brazen Attack speed is not exactly required. So if you run Brazen Attack Def with Brazen Attack Res Seal, you basically end up with 32-32 with buff that's 38 Def, 38 Res, while also making your attack go up to 64 with buff that's 70 attack. So you'd end up with 74 attack, counting Vidofnir's effect, 74 attack, 50 speed, and 38 Def, 38 Res. You'd be able to also have a good enemy face, because if you have to deal with a physical unit, you'd jump up to 45 Def and Res. Oh, okay, so you are also blessed. Wait. This is a earth blessing, though, not water. So you'd get 2 attack and 3 HP, not 3 HP and 4 res. Spur Def and Res Seal and Drive Def. Don't worry. But yeah, this would be definitely a lot better with Brazens. Brazen Attack Def, Brazen Attack Res. Like I said, the speed is definitely overkill, so all you really gain from that Brazen is, well, the 7 attack. The only things that you would not double are typically stuff that, well, hello, my name is Alm, and that's kind of it, really. So you'd be just better off, investing in Brazens. That way, if you have to, have some kind of enemy phase, and you have Azura blessing you, I guess, wait, that would be 25-25 becomes 31-31 because of buff. 38-38 because of Brazen Attack Def, Brazen Attack Res. 45-45 because of Vidofnir. Spur Def Res makes that 48-48. Azura Blessing would push that to 48-52, and Drive Def to 51-52. So you'd have 51 Def, 51 Def, 52 Res, on top of 74 attack and 50 speed. So yeah, I guess it really resumed itself to running Brazen Attack Def, Brazen Attack Res over Brazen Attack Speed and Def Res Bond. Typically, if you're going to use bonds, you either want to use Distant Counter or skills that are going to be more enemy phase based, like Warding Stance 4, for example, Steady Stance 4, another bond. Because at the end of the day, because of the way the positioning is made, unless you're going to be running something like, I guess, how is it called? Air orders to allow her to teleport to other people, bond skills are typically not going to be too useful. You can use bond skills offensively with flyers because of aerobatic/flyer formation, but it's definitely more it's definitely more comp based, and your team comp would not really work consistently or all the time, I should say, because 2 of them are infantry, 1 of them is a flyer, unless you have hair orders on Azura, which even then is just really awkward. Brazens are probably the better way to go about it. At the end of the day, you do have enough stats with or without the Brazen, so she can actually use double Brazen fairly consistently. Celica is the best red infantry sword because it can be used in AR. Oh boy. I just use red for my red in Aether raids, and he does just fine. If you use Mystic Boost, it will be definitely better in a double bond set. But even then, I'd say Brazens gives you just more freedom overall. You're able to go on the offensive or the defensive. It's really up to you. Kind of similarly to how I use Ira, which is basically just distant counter Wrath with Slaying Edge. And Ragnalastra. Because she can just instantly proc, you can literally just face tank even mages. But you can just like player phase with Ira or enemy phase, whichever, it really comes down to your preference. Red gets countered by one skill that is still uncommon. What skill? What, dual close? Wait, no, not even. What skill? Like bonds? Oh, no follow-up. Yeah, I guess. But who uses no follow-up in AR? I guess the Alm here and there does use it, but that's kind of it. Like, no follow-up is just such a garbage skill for AR. You use no follow-up to get around armored units more so than anything else, and armored units are not exactly used in AR for many, many, many reasons. But yeah, I think that's about all I have to say about that Tana. I don't think what else I don't know what else I would add to this. I suppose attack smoke might also be a good option to use if you want to use the enemy face to your advantage, but that's kind of just all I can think of. Mm-hmm. I kind of wish Brazen Attack Res was in the pool though, because then you could do the same combo but with Brazen Attack Res and Brazen Attack Death Seal, meaning you could use the combo on more than one unit. I'm gonna be honest, the next banner we're getting, I genuinely don't care. I have no interest in it. It's probably going to just be how's it called? Farfetched. And considering they went out of their way to remove all of the Farfetched candidate like Ranulph, it's hard to care. Yeah, I figured. That's why I said like maybe attack smoke, but it depends. But yeah, I'm gonna move to someone else. Hopefully this was helpful. Oh yeah, Gustav exists. I forgot. Alright. Let's see who else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel as well, Shipaponi. It's not that I hate those characters, it's just I just don't care. I just don't care. 4, so Crypto, it's your turn. Like, I'm just not excited when characters like R, Rudger, Ranulf, uh, the rest that I don't remember at the top of my head just got screwed over so bad so some nobodies can get a place on Farfetched. We're probably going to get Severa and Rinka or some very garbage unit like that and on there, and I'm just sitting here like, I don't care. I really don't care about that banner. I couldn't care less, in fact. And Crypto, just post whichever you're using, because I'm trying to give advice based on what you are using, not what the AI might see. So if it does have summoner support, do use the summoner support. If it doesn't have the summoner support, then
Hello?
hello.
Okay, you can hear. That's good. Yeah, I uploaded both with and without the summer support. I don't know which one you would prefer.
I prefer the one that you're going to actually use.
Well, yeah, that's one with summoner support then.
All right.
Would you like me to describe the build, like why I have certain things?
Let me just get it on the screen first.
Alright.
Makes it easier for the others to actually see what we're talking about.
Yeah, sorry.
It's fine. There you go. Fire away.
Well, this build I have...
Jesus Christ, the baby's in the back.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
This build I have... Because I don't know why I just decided to start working on Masked Marth. It was just, like, popped in my head.
Well, to be fair, you get what, like 9 free copies? 8 free copies? I don't even remember how many we've got.
Yeah, I don't remember either, because I didn't really worry about Masked Marth at first, that's why.
Remember TT rerun? No, I just remembered Mass Morph reruns. Christ.
But like some of the merges I even had, I might have botted off. I don't remember for what, but like I decided to full NASCAR. The skills, some of these like
Jesus Christ, you are lagging right now. Can't say I understand what you're saying right now. Your connection sounds like a robot. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to connect on my headphones. If I can sound better.
Jesus.
Still really laggy.
I can actually understand you now.
Yeah, I had the different pair of headphones then.
So what were you saying?
Anti-armors.
Okay, might be better to just write at this point.
I'm sorry?
Half of the time you're trying to speak, it just turns into robot noises. And then there's and the other half of the time the people in the back just covers you up. So I actually struggle to actually understand what you're saying.
Alright, I guess I'll just type. It might be better if I type it out.
Yeah, that might be better.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's my fault.
Yeah, this probably will work better. Oh, the wonders of having a bad connection. I know the pain. So I guess it's mostly used for AA. The problem is that outside of Arena, it's not that useful. If you want to use this type of set somewhere else, you can definitely use way better set than this. You use it for everything, really? Well, I mean, if you have special spiral, don't you think that slaying edge plus, say, I don't know, bonfire would do better? Because then with buffs you'd do an extra 22 damage on proc instead of, well, like 10 with Glimmer. If you have to deal with a unit that has a lot of defense, well, even then it won't matter too much. Yeah. At least with what I'm looking here. Well, if the unit is too bulky, you could just run Ignis as well. Because you can just... With Slaying Edge, your cooldown goes down by 1, so your full cooldown becomes 3 cooldown. Special Spiral gives you 2 charges every time you proc, so you'd be down to 1 charge, meaning you just get hit once and then you come back with an instant Ignis, one-shotting in the process. At least if you have a death buff up, that would be 35 damage with Ignis. Just straight up. Armor Smasher is better to deal with armored unit, but the second you have to deal with anything that's not armored, Slaying will do better. Ignis is if you don't mind tanking a hit to proc Ignis. Bonfire would be better if you just want to have an instant special proc. It comes down to preference. Like another thing you could probably do is run Time Pulse with Wrath. With Bonfire, because then you'd get 32 damage on the proc. Because Wrath would essentially just give you the 10 extra damage. Another thing you could use is Mass Marth with Brave Lucina. Brave Lucina would give you 2 charge when you get hit, meaning that if you have Bonfire, then you instantaneously proc Bonfire when you're using Slaying Edge. So you can just take a hit, proc. If you have to deal with Bonfire, then you take a hit, proc, take another hit, proc. If the enemy has something like Aether, which is typically the case. That's probably the main one I can really say. If you do that though, your B skill becomes just use whatever you want. You can use null follow up, for example, and you'd still get the same result. You'd still instantly proc Bonfire. If the goal is just sustain, you could also run, how's it called? Oh yeah, Wadao. Wadao with Noontime. So you basically take the hit, with Brave Lucina support of course, and then instantly proc Noontime with the extra 10 damage of the Wadao, meaning that you would be doing whatever damage you're doing plus 10, and then heal 30% of that. And since you'd instantly proc it, your enemy would be at full HP, typically. Yes, that's also something you can do, Bish. Running Def Res solo over Fortress Def Res, meaning you keep your 2 attack that you lose from Fortress Def Res, but you still keep the 6 Def and Res from it. It's an option. It can screw you over against AoEs, but other than that, it should be fine. Besides, you're red, so the main AoE users would just completely not care because they're blue, or she's blue rather. But again, most of these set I've mentioned is with Brave Lucina in mind. So if you can't really make a spot for her, then there's that. If you use the Noontime set with Brave Lucina, you probably will be just fine with no follow-up. If you're using just... I guess you could just run Distant Counter. You still have 38-38 with the buff. With buffs, even. Would be 38 def, 38 res. And with Distant Counter, you'd still do fine. And your attack would also be fine enough to be comboed with Legendary Eliwood. In which case you can literally be buffed across the map without needing positioning whatsoever. Really wish that Rouse Speed Res would be a thing for that though. Because then you'd be able to get the attack speed, def, and res regardless of where you are on the map. And with Legendary Eliwood, that would mean 12 attack, speed, def, and res. So even if you have this encounter, you'd have 44 def and res. As well as 56 speed, which is unrequired, but you know, details. You'd also have 70 attack with this encounter. So 70 attack, 44 def, 44 res. Legendary Eliwood in general is really good for buffing units like these. And so is Brave Lucina. I don't know where you would be able to use Shield Pulse though. Sonic Fandom furiously typing, what even? Other than that, not much I could really say to improve this. Marth is this kind of weird unit that can have multiple options really. So it really comes down to what you want to use. In fact, you could also use Heart's Blade, which is Valentine Ike's weapon, if you want her to be more of a team player instead of a character that is away from the team. Heart's Blade gives her 3 across the board. Then again, I actually suppose Falchion does that as well, so kind of redundant at that point. If you use the base Falchion and refine it to bonds, you basically end up with 16 might on the weapon, 4 def, 4 attack, 4 speed, 4 def, 4 res if someone is next to her. Which means you can combo that into bond skills pretty well. Like just attack, def, bond, attack, res, bond together, for example. Yeah, that's an option that can work. Another thing you can do is, I almost wish I could just show this on stream easier, but let me just go on Unit Builder and show what I mean. That you could also run if you want her to be more of an all-rounder. Mass Marth. Right. Am I forgetting anything? Nope. Okay. You could run something like this, for example. With attack respawn, you'd be pushing your attack to 72 attack. Fortune pushes that to 76. And your attack cannot be debuffed anymore. You can be panicked, but even the stat that you have on minus would still be deleted. Meaning, you at worst you'd basically still have like 70 attack, I believe. You'd be also sitting at 44 defense. No, actually. 48 defense and 49 res. If you want her to be more defensive, this is an option. The other option would be with Seal Falchion and Brazens. It's basically very similar to this, but might as well just do this as well. I guess with Raph. Another thing is something similar to this. It's honestly pretty cheap outside of Ruptured Sky, but like I said with Ruptured Sky, you can use Moonbow and it works just as fine. It's just that Ruptured Sky tends to be more consistent in your damage. This set would be giving you, what, 39, 40, 46, 47, 51, 40, 52. Yeah, 51, 52, 51 defense, 52 res, blah. As well as 84 attack. Inspiration is also an option instead of Wrath. There's a lot of things you can really do with this character just because she has two different prefs, and she has a fairly workable stat line in general. Special Spiral is typically what you'll use with a Bond set, by the way, since it's more of a defensive set that doesn't matter like what your HP is at. So Special Spiral tends to be better with those. And Wrath is better with set that requires your HP to be lower, aka it's better with Brazen, Sealed Falchion, and so on. And yes, Darky, it is an option. I did cover it as well. But yeah, these are the options I have in mind for her. Like I said, you can also use like special spiral with slaying edge and run a lot of skills such as like bonfire, ignis. It really comes down to what you want to run the most. Marth can just be this versatile in general. Like the slaying set I had in mind. I really wish I could just show this on stream because it would be so much easier for me to explain what I'm doing, but it is what it is. If you plan on using her for like multiple fight in one enemy phase, I'd say Bonfire is better than Ignis with this set. Otherwise, Ignis can be better for a better payoff. Oh, that's fair, Crypto. I'm just giving you options you can use with these. Like I said, if you want something that's more like easy to obtain, you can just use the set I just posted, or if you don't have this encounter, you can just replace this encounter itself. Like, because Brazen Attack Def is really easy to obtain. It's literally on the 3 to 4 star unit. Something like so. But yeah, these are the main one I can come up with. Other than that, what else? Kind of wish bracing stance was a thing for seals. Because the best option you really have with this would be just Brazen Def Res, which is not a seal. God damn it. Something like this, I suppose. Well, your rouse attack res is also a good option. I just put attack smoke here because it works good at making your bulk work, you know. And it's also on a 3 to 4 star unit. And there's more and more reasons to pull colorless nowadays, so getting Kaze is not too difficult. But maybe that's just me. For Def Res is also a decent option instead of Def Res Solo. It's just that Def Res Solo is overall giving you more attack as well for the same Def and Res, and it combos well with Rouse Attack Def. Oh, you can just delete yourself, I believe. If it's your own message. You're happy von Hire, I think. Just making sure so I don't delete someone by accident. And mostly, if what you're liking is the set you have currently, just change the weapon to Slaying and Glimmer to Bonfire, since Bonfire will be more consistent. That's pretty much all I can think of, though. I've already said this, Bish. I also said that, you know, if he doesn't have Def Res solo, 4 Def Res is just as good. I'm going to guess that Happy is Happy Von Hire. Alright, I suppose I should find someone else. Or is there anything else you want to say, or? Okay. And no problem. I try. Anyway, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And number 7. 21 weebs. It's up to you. The Sonic GIF in general. Oh, I see there's another fan of Henry. Yeah, he did post it in the right channel. There we go. This is actually quite similar to, I think, the first set that, what's his name? Azarius had on his. And now I think he runs a Blade Tome set on him. Because, believe it or not, but Henry can actually use that fairly decently. It's a Sonic movie abridged. Can you remove me from the list? The library I was at closed and my Wi-Fi and Discord don't work. Okay. Hope to see you later, though. But yeah, fire away. Unless you want to just talk instead, that's fine too. Yeah, that's fair. Henry is a bit of a weird one to work with. He can definitely work though. I know Azarius uses Henry to clear most LHB and MHB with him. It's weird, but a speed set actually worked quite well with Henry. If there isn't much to say, I also have a donkey long I'm working on. Donkey long? Oh, Death Knight. Well, no, there's quite a few to say about Henry in general. Though Henry is a bit of a weird one. Most of the best set he can run requires you to run speed plus. Because believe it or not, his speed is not unsalvageable. I mean, you can literally make Legendary Leaf hit like almost 50 speed. It doesn't really come to too much surprise. But like, depending on if you want to stay enemy phase or play... God damn it. Depending on if you want to be player phase or enemy phase, there's definitely a lot you can do with him. Like if you go speed plus, which doesn't really sound like a great idea until you actually try the sets. Let me try to show you, for example. God, I wish I could just put unit builder like on the left of the stream. One moment. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. That was a meme. You don't really need Speed Wave, as long as you have buffs on the team itself. Like, you can do something like, well, I guess... I might as well just post both. You can do something like this, for example. Which, basically, once you're in brazen range, you end up with 48 speed. It also means that your attack just kind of jumps up to 83. 83 attack, 48 speed tends to be quite decent. If you want something that's a bit more, what's the word? Stable. Something you can do is something like more Swiss Sparrow. And instead of Desperation, I guess low speed def can be an option. Speed def, I'm stupid. I guess attack speed, since speed res is not a thing yet. Also, it means you can just proc Moonbow or Bonfire. If you have someone with, say, attack rush, I think that's how it's called. So you can just basically be buffed, hit +2, and then get hit and then proc with Moonbow, for example. Yes, you can. If you have a speed plus unmerged 5-star and you put your plus 10 and merge it into said 5-star, it's going to just jump to plus 10. Your dragon flowers are also going to be transferred over, and your blessing will also be transferred over if you decide to do it this way. And here's the other one you can do without Fury 4. This set hits 47 speed because you get 7 speed from Swispero, you get 3 from low attack speed, and the enemy cannot get speed buffs, meaning you have 47 speed and the enemy can't be buffed in speed. And on top of this, because of Brazen Attack Res, once you get basically in Brazen range, you have 44 def, 44 res. And on top of all that, you're sitting at 91 attack once, no, not 91, 85 attack once you're fully buffed. So you have like 85 attack, 47 speed. I forgot to count the lulls, so 47 def, 47 res, and if you deal with people that have been hit by attack smoke, 54 def, 54 res. So overall, pretty good. Oh, and the enemy can buff their attack or speed to try to double you, so there's that too. But this is just player phase exclusive mostly, because of the Sparrow skill. With the Fury, it's multi-phase. I do think the lull would be better. It's just that low speed res would be better to give you more damage. But you can't use low speed res because it doesn't exist. So attack and speed it is. Still, it does help your survivability. The hardest part really is just hitting the brazen range because you're at that point so bulky. But you can just drop your buffs if that becomes a problem instead and just use it this way. But yeah, speed plus is genuinely actually quite good with Henry, since speed is so easy to stack and there's no reason in going to like 60 plus speed, so most people don't waste their time going with that much speed on their units. Which makes so that even if you're a slow unit to begin with and you invest in speed, it's not exactly worthless. Is Sirius the only one with low attack speed? Oh yeah, it is. He is. We have two for attack def, but only one for attack speed and speed def. But yeah, this with Swift Sparrow, you're actually quite good on speed at that point, and like I said, you end up with 85 attack, which is quite solid. For those who are curious in the chat, these are the sets I'm talking about. I might as well just post them here. I can't really... Actually, wait. No, I can. Hold up. This is going to be a bit annoying to work with, but it's fine. Give me a moment. These are the two sets we're currently talking about. Why so serious? I said on the left is reliant on desperation, because Fury 4 does drain your HP quite quick. I have a plus 10 Deirdre that does use Fury 4. She hits 49 speed, and she negates all buff the enemy might have, which is really strong. Not to mention she has, I think, let me think, she has 25 base defense, but the team she's in gives her 4 def, so 29. Then a weapon gives her 3 def, so 32. A buff pushes that to 38. So she ends up with 38 def. She's really hard to take down in one fight, but you do get whittled down quite quickly because of Fury. So it is a bit dangerous. That's why I say like the set with Suspero 3 is also an option. Fury 4 will ensure you hit the Brazen range in like a fight or two, but it's also a bit inconsistent as a result, because your HP becomes a bit weird. The way I do this is I tend to only let people just show one character, unless the two characters are meant to work together. I'm not sure if you've seen my teams in on Twitch, but for example, my legendary Tiki and my New Year Guntra, I could not really showcase one without the other because they're meant to work as a pair, or even as a trio, because Rayson is there to also provide the last buff I need, which is attack. But they're mostly meant to work together, those two in particular. So it's very difficult to really, showcase one or the other because of this. But otherwise, I tend to only try to, go for only one character per person, so I can go through as many people as I can. I tend to do this every month. The day where I do it tends to vary. I say when I do it on Discord, but like a week in advance typically, or a week in advance in my own videos. It's quite hard for me to just say that I'm going to do this at X day, because I currently work and I teach and I also go at school. I hardly have time for myself, and when I do have time for myself, I try to rest a bit because it's very, very demanding on the body. I'm basically teaching kendo, and currently I'm learning electromechanics, and I'm currently in the bit that's extremely hard on the body. I just finished welding, basically, more or less, this week, and I have manual machining on the next like 3 times in a row, and you have no idea how hard it is on the body to just be filing a piece of steel with a steel file for like 5 to 6 hours in a day, and then do that 3 times in a row. But yeah, it's demanding, but it's also fulfilling, so, Is Fury and Vengeance set a thing on Henry? I think his death will always be better anyway. Vengeance could work, but with Blade Tome it's a bit awkward. If you want to use something else than Blade Tome, it can certainly work. Like, for example, if you use Rather Fox, which, if you've seen any of my videos lately, you probably have an idea of how much I value the weapon, but if not, let me just cook a quick set real quick. Oh, and I can't refine it to res because this website forgets to, work on its own shit. Lots of work. Well, I mean, it's a lot of work, but like I said, it's extremely fulfilling, so it doesn't feel that bad to me. I'll refine it to defense and just basically move 3 defense to res instead, but Well, the little skills becomes not really that important with this, so what should I run? I guess no follow-up could be an option. It's almost a problem because he ends up with a lot of bulk. The low attack speed becomes useless because Rather Fox already gives you 4 speed, unless you're meant to use it on enemy phase as well. But like Rather Fox gives you, well, basically it removes the enemy stats by 4 to all stats. They lose 4 attack, 4 speed, 4 def, 4 res. And so it's essentially 4 across the board for you when you're initiating. That's the best way I can really describe. And Foxdome does not do cooldown +1, so you could say run Reprisal, for example, with Flashing Blade. Like, yeah, okay, like this. Let me just get this somewhere else so I can then put it on the side. It's a bit more work this way, but it allows me to actually show what I mean by the sets without it being harder to explain. Like so. I could never, I would die. It's not that hard, but yeah, it is quite difficult on the body. But yeah. Oh, and this is without summoner support. Oh. So yeah, like I said, take 3 def, put that in res, so it's actually 44 def and 40 res. Then also put the summoner support on top of this. So in reality, you'd have what, 50 speed with this set. There's so many characters that could use Foxdome so well. Quickly like this, I would say Boey is one of them. His speed is so workable. It's right there. So just having a bump of 4 speed would make him work so well as a unit, both on the offensive side, because then his speed would be extremely workable at that point. Lind, for example, would be able to be not only speedy but tanky. Like for example, Lind could hit like I think 40 defense and 40 res. Yep, Boey. It's actually better than his pref by a mile. Oh god, that's already almost too much speed. Guess more so attack. I'll just take Dancer's Ring since that has the might of a Foxdome. He doesn't even need the speed boon, to be honest. Even more so once we get the, how's it called? Actually, no, speed boon might be a bit better here if I want to use the set I have in mind. You mean like the set with Rather Fox and Desperation, running Special Spiral instead? That works just as well. Though you probably would want Fury 4 instead. Since you have Summoner support, the fact that you would lose Swiss Sparrow and run Fury 4 instead would still be fine. You'd still hit 47 speed with this. Which is... 47 is the magic number for speed. That's the best way I can really describe it. The way the speed meta is, just because no one really goes over 47 speed because it tends to be useless. But to put it in perspective, I don't want this in this channel. For Boey, what I'm talking about, this is not exactly a set, but just to give you an idea of what I would do. You see this right here? Now consider Dancer Ring to be Gron Fox instead. And you're basically looking at 6 attack on initiation, minus 4 res on the enemy side. You'd be looking at 63 attack, 46 speed, while also having 46 defense and 45 res. And I'm not really trying here, like, this is just something I did in 2 seconds. And this works just fine. And if you want a more enemy phase oriented of this, you'd just run Altom instead. But yeah. Anyway. But yeah, Special Spiral would work just fine with Reprisal. It would just mean it's ready right away. But like I said, you want Fury 4 instead, because if you have Fury 4... Oh, and also Flashing Blade, you won't need it with this. So you'd be able to replace this for, say, Sturdy Blow. Or whenever that comes out, Mirror Strike, because that would mean your bulk would be, what, 44-40, Mirror Strike pushes that to 44-44, Radar Fox pushes that to 48-48. Summoner Support pushes that to 50 def, 50 res. And Attack Smoke would push that to 57-57 if that's required. Other than that, your attack would be at, considering, wait, that's with Fury 4? Oh my god, hold on. So we have 44, 40. You get 4 res from Mirror Strike, so 44, 44. 48, 48 from Radar Fox. Fury 4 would push that to 52, 52. Summoner Support to 54, 54. If you attack smoke something on the enemy phase, on the enemy side rather, you'd be at 61 defense, 61 res. And your speed would be at 47 when initiating, while your attack would be at 47 plus 4, 51 plus 2, 53 plus 4, 57. I think it's 57 attack, or am I missing something? Oh no, Mirror Strike. That would push your attack to 61. And then because of your HP, you'd probably be getting maybe like 15 damage from the Reprisal. The danger though is that you won't be able to get 2 hits in, which means less damage overall. But yeah, other than that, I think that should be fine. Speed is just so easy to build on units. You can make so many units quite threatening with it. Like Legendary Leaf is one of them. He's actually going to be one of my merge project because, well, I'd be damned if I wouldn't actually plus 10 my favorite lord in the series. Besides, despite his Brave Bow, despite the fact that he has 22 base speed, you can actually make him hit like almost 50 speed because of the way his bow work. I've already went through it when I reviewed him on the Legendary banner, but yeah. Anytime. Hopefully this was helpful. I am aware, Joey. I tend to do that whenever I'm done with talking with the person. Not before. Because otherwise it's kind of silly. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 3. Wait, who did I delete? Wait, shit, who did I just delete? I didn't delete Crypto. Who did I delete? If I deleted someone by accident, please repost. No, it's not Crypto I deleted. I deleted someone else beforehand. I don't know who I did delete. Oh, God. Well, if you're around, do verify if I deleted your message and show me your build. I'm sorry if I did. I don't know who I actually removed if I did. Oh yeah, Weaves. I think that's the one I removed. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I mixed the two of them. Okay, okay. All right. So, number 3 is Oda. So, come in, Oda. I'm going to remove the sets on the left and right now. I was just so confused for a moment. Nah, that's fine. Speed is indeed easy. What is this notification? Okay. Oh, I am Daisy. Death Knight is a bit awkward to build in speed just because you can't really use LoL attack speed, which is really awkward because that's like the LoL skills are like one of the few toys Cav units can actually use. But like if you use LoL attack speed, for example, and it removes the buff in attack and speed of your enemy, and they don't have a def or res buff, you don't get stat. So it's like it can literally work against you. Essentially, it's just ah. Yeah, the problem is that the way Death Knight... Oh, least common. I guess? I don't know. It just tends to work against you a lot. Death Knight is just an extremely awkward unit overall, unless you run something like Swiss Sparrow. Like, trying to just verify if what I'm saying. 35 speed. Oh yeah, a scythe that's apparently a lance for some reason. I guess he never tried to slash at someone, but rather only stabs with it. I guess you can work with Swiss Sparrow 3 and Darting Blow. Yeah, you can hit 48 speed that way. Hmm. Yes, you're up, Oda. I should probably just plug my tablet before I forget. I'm kind of glad that Show Me Your Build is at least going, smoothly. Because the last few times, well, no, the last time was fine. I'm just glad that people can actually read the rules. That's something that people tend to just not do. Oh, yeah, it's Boey. Ironically enough. Yeah, it becomes a bit weird. Oh, hello.
Does this work?
Yes, it does work. It does indeed work.
Okay, I had to switch off going for my work. Anyways, so this is the fabled Boey. He's I guess you can obviously see he needs a better B skill. I've never changed that since I started merging him.
Doesn't he come with renewal?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Exactly. I was just like, it works, and I don't know. He gets the sustain from that. I'm just like, hey, it works, even though there's so many better options.
I mean, even if you're just going for sustain, Mystic Boost exists.
Oh yeah, I have some extra airs. Who needs AR offense? I don't need that.
Personally, I don't. I literally,
Exactly.
all of the time I tend to forget to do AR once or twice a week. I forgot to do it twice last week, and I still got to top 4K for some reason. AR is a fucking joke.
It's amazing, you know. I'm just surprised that people can lose to my defense team. I mean, it's just infantry pulse spam. How could you lose? And then someone tanked it with the ice mirror Fjorm, and I just got mad. I'm like, no.
As you do.
So the Bowie doesn't look like much when he's not buffed and next to May. So the ally support is May. So as you can see, and she also has her refine, Defrez Link, and Spur Defrez on both the seal and the C slot. So he gets really tanky.
Hmm.
It's a fun. I mean, ever since you got the refine, I was like, this can work. I can actually make him a tank and not a def tank, because at some point you realize that he's gonna have to take a mage hit, and it he
Yeah.
does not take those well. But now
Ideally,
take it.
ideally, you really want to have a character that can buff his res by 6, like with double drive res.
That's true. I could do that too. Because bonds aren't completely reliable.
No,
I guess well Spurs.
yeah, yeah. Well, I
Bonds are
mean, you
very
could
solid.
just run like double spur, I guess attack res.
Oh right, I have a lot of Liberas. Yeah, his you know,
Or
with plus attack, his attack is still lacking. It's
yeah.
I don't know how to feel about that because I got plus attack. I was like, oh, he's gonna hit like 50 attack, and
I
48.
mean, to be fair, this is kind of similar to what I use with my Enos, and I mean, I'm pretty sure you've seen my Enos.
Yes, that's I 50 defense. Okay,
Look at me, I have base 14 defense, but in reality, this fucking brave actor is tinging on me.
this isn't okay.
This is fine.
I'm fine.
But yeah, if you can like get every buff up on Boey, and you can still have someone on the team that can be next to him to buff up his stat, I'd say Spur Speed Res would be fairly solid.
Speed. Who even has that?
Good question.
I know Speed Def is on Oscar.
I know Spur Attack Def is still locked to 5-star exclusive for some reason.
Oh god.
It's locked to one unit and then another one, but the other unit in question is seasonal.
Oh great.
Oh, hey,
Let me
speaking
guess.
of, Spur Speed Res 2 is only on a seasonal and nothing else.
I hate this game. I meant I just want him to have stats. Is it so hard? Let me play
Oh
the
my
game.
god. I guess you could do base Marth
oh yeah.
and run
Base
drive
Marth, yeah.
speed and drive res. You'd get 5 instead of 6, but you'd also get 2 attack and 2 def.
Huh. This would work on my main team where I use Tiki with it. Huh.
Yeah, that actually does synergize a bit well.
Yeah, huh. Interesting, yeah.
Oh yeah, and Tiki can use Breath
Even
of
more
Fog.
stats for Boey. What a... yeah, that's what I was thinking. Of course, I use her with like lightning breath because I still need distant counter. But yeah, that's interesting.
It gets confusing when you build Altom units because you're like, okay, my buffs are this.
I have to go with a
this.
calculator. I'm just like, all right. How
Jesus
much res does
Christ.
he actually have? And it's like 50. I'm like, all right, he might take it.
Do I have? Okay, no, I don't. I was going to say, do I have like fucking the calcs for Ines because of all the fucking buffs I have on him?
Oh god.
I don't think so.
The optimal buffs. That's something I have to calculate. I'm just like, does
I
it have
literally
that?
use a
Maybe.
word pad for that. It's the worst otherwise.
I mean, I'm fairly good at math, so I just kind of like add it on my, just kind of use calculator to remember it. But sometimes you just forget that he's pretty tanky. And then I realize then he gets outsped somehow. I'm like, oh yeah, 32 speed. He still needs speed buffs.
Trying to find the fucking calcs because I did put them on the. Oh, I think I found them.
Oh okay.
Oh boy, yeah, okay. Okay, now this is the abridged version where I just say all the stat that he get in total, which are 27 attack, 16 speed, 30 defense, 19 res.
Ah, yes. The 30 defense Innis. You know, you're like, oh, look at this frail little archer.
Oh,
and
please.
You ting him.
Those are just the stats that he receives as buff. These are not his stats.
I don't like that.
What do you mean?
Even
It's
if
only
I
92 points of stat buff.
I'm gonna leave. I mean, not like I do the same with Boey or attempt to, but apparently speed, res, spur, whatever is on a seasonal.
Yeah,
Yes.
like Spur Attack Def, if that becomes a seal and an obtainable C skill.
Ah.
I think my Inesin's up with 45 HP, 84 attack, 57
Oh,
speed, 58 def, 58 res. You know,
wait.
as you do.
Huh. Ah. I hear the 58 res, like, oh yeah, that's normal, and I hear 58 def. Yeah, wait. Wait a second.
As you do.
God bless. Oh yeah. I guess I came here wondering why I should put in this beast slot, like anything else but that. Mystic boost, yeah. But
All right, I think that's enough me searching this. Let me just try to. All right, Boey.
yeah.
He's plus 10 and plus 10 dragon flower. Oh, 4.
Well, I don't got enough flowers for that.
Okay.
If only. I might as well focus AR for dragon now. That's a.
I mean, the only time I try somewhat is if it's infantry or armor flowers, because they tend to give us either a horse or flying free unit
Oh.
9 times out of 10. So,
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
you don't really struggle with these ones.
You know, like when Hall of Forms came out, it's like, oh man, we're getting flowers. See, it's the yellow ones. Yes, for my Fallen Berkut at 5 flowers. Thank God. I don't know where else to put them. You get the speed point now with this minus speed.
Yeah, it tends to be a bit useless. Just a smidge.
I'm like, what? 5 more BST on top of like 150 isn't doing too much. Poor calves.
The sad part is the fact that both infantry and arm and cav units can get the same thing. So it's like, why would you use a cav unit for this if an infantry unit does the same thing but with like an extra 10 BST?
You know, imagine having less BST for having more movement, but then you get a dancer that gives you more movement. Oh yeah.
As you do.
This is fine. I don't get it.
Does your May
I was
have?
like, Berkut is gonna be so good, and then. Huh?
Does your May have infantry breath?
You see, that's where my orbs went to, and I got none of that.
Oh.
Yeah, you know how I'm like just thinking, man, I could run like so much with infantry breath. I run even like an infantry team to be so good, and I didn't get it.
Yikes.
Amazing. It's just you know, gotcha as hell. You know, that's what I tell myself. But yeah, maybe when Na comes back on Abandon, and not did she share a color? Yeah, she shared with Idun. I had no chance.
Well, I mean, Idun is also good in general. It's a good
Yeah,
unit, and
yeah.
I mean,
I wouldn't mind getting her, but I didn't get either.
what the fuck did you get then?
Not enough orbs.
Oh my god.
God.
At
'Cause,
least
like,
at least it's not as bad as my legendary banner run where I got to 14.5 fucking percent before I got my first 5-star.
I that's hard to believe because I was, and then I was actually starting to like get to like 12%. I was like, oh no. But thankfully I got a Vike, and so he died for his sins because he was minus speed, and I was getting him to die anyways. But yeah.
I mean, at least you got the thing you wanted.
Yeah,
That's the
thank
thing.
God. I was literally just thinking, if I get Paula, I'm fine. If I get Ryoma, I'm not fine, but it's something.
Yeah.
He's a water blessing buffer, I guess. I don't know. But yeah.
Trying to think. So, oh, okay. I know what you could do. It's a bit expensive, though.
Oh, I've already killed many units for fodder. You know, kinda sits there for his distant defense 4.
As you do.
People are like, "Hey, I'd love to have a kindness on my team." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you mean distant defense for oh."
Oopsies.
I got a Tibard and a Kygus on that banner. I'm just like, ooh, 30 impact. I mean, okay, to be fair, I already have a Tibarn, so you know, if I really want to use him, he's there with the same exact IVs. I don't know how that happened.
Alright,
Plus
there you
HP.
go.
Anyway,
This is something you could do with Boey. Keep in mind that that would be with Marth support.
well, I can just promote my Marth.
But like double drive res on Marth.
Oh wait, I did give him try. Yeah, that could work. Yeah.
Because if you have double drive res on Marth, you can push. I think his def would be 45 and well 48 because of low attack speed. Then his res would be 31 plus 5 from the bond, 36 plus 6 from so, yeah. 31 plus 5, 36, and then you take Marth with double drive res, so plus 8, you'd be at 44, and then with low attack speed, you'd be at 47 res. Whereas the defense, you'd be at 45, and then with low attack speed, 48. So 48 def, 47 res. And Marth plus 2 people next to you. Actually, did I count 2 people next to you with the stat I just gave? I don't think so. God damn it, altos are such a pain to remember. WordPad help!
I think you said all that without the alto, but
Yeah, me
oh,
as
yeah.
well. So 50, 54, 38, 43, 31. So 2 people next to him. So the bond is activated as well. So you have 50, then 63 attack, 42 speed, 47 defense, and 40 res? Yes. Then one of them is Marth with double drive res, so 50 HP, 65 attack, 44 speed, 49 def, and 48 res. Then you have low attack speed, so 50 HP, 65 attack, 47 speed, 52 def, 51 res.
It only goes up.
I think that's it.
Huh.
Now just with like Marth having double drive res.
Then it gets up.
And then the rest is just like visible buff giving +6 across the board, and obviously Marth's a sword. But this ends up with 65 attack and 47 speed despite close counter, and also 52 def and 51 res. As you do.
And don't forget the maze next to him with ally support.
Yeah, there's that too. You can actually combo into this as well.
Yeah. It just keeps going up.
So you'd be at like 67 attack, 49 speed. So the main thing is really just using Marth with double drive res to make up the gap in res, and running low attack speed to make your bulk more consistent and your speed more consistent.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that when you mentioned it. Just I have to kill it serious now.
I mean, to be fair, you basically have every skill you need here except low attack speed.
Yeah, that is true.
It's not that expensive.
Not too bad. Just gotta wait for him to come back. Some random lol whatever banner.
I can't wait for the next lol XD banner.
Oh yeah. It's such a dumb name.
What does lol even mean?
It's a very good question. We all just accept it and we never question it.
A temporary interval of quiet or lack of activity? Calm or send to sleep, typically with soothing sounds or movement. Huh?
You know,
is the reason why cav and infantry units the only type of units that can use it because armored units are too noisy when they move, and flyers have wings that keep flapping?
I don't know. Those horse steps are real loud.
This sounds so dumb.
What the heck? You know, I just think of, well, they use dull, then they use null. What about lol?
I
You
can't
could've
wait.
just said-
I can't wait for the next skill, bull. Like bullshit.
Sounds like a lot of units in this game. I meant
Bullshit follow up 3. Let's go. My favorite skill.
you just follow up whenever you feel like it. There you go. Every turn. It's just odd follow up, but every turn. Oh wait. Screw your follow ups. Not affected by no follow up, by the way.
Can't wait for the full skill also. Or goal skill. Or the whole skill. That sounds so dumb.
The whole, the whole skill, not just half the skill. The whole.
No, I mean
God.
hull like a
Yeah.
a boat's hull.
Oh my god. What are we doing?
Oh no, talking about the next best skill that's getting added by IS or some shit.
Oh god. Infantry breath. But it's just Lucina's refined. There you go. You thought she was special, now she's not. Also, I'm not going to be able to get it, because I'm not going to summon it, just somehow. Bless me.
As you do. But yeah, this would work
So-
quite well for
yeah.
you, and Marth would actually synergize quite well with May as well.
Yeah, I can definitely get on board with that.
Hmm?
Yeah. I'll
Okay,
disagree.
I thought you said something.
Oh, whoops. I'm just thinking about a whole. Anyways. I think I got the point across.
Yeah, I think. 52,
Also-
as you do, 52 def, 51 res.
But we can't take tank dragons, therefore his pref is good. Oh, thank you. God.
God, that pref is
Nobody
so...
done-
bleh.
You know how many times I have told people whose pref is bad, they're like, but it has Raven Tome. I'm like, I'm gonna leave.
I think it's more like people are like, but it has DC, and it's like, yeah, it doesn't work all the time, who cares?
I'm like, yeah, it's good to his lore, and that's... But, like, he already could tank Def Tool. Now he can run
Yes.
Warding Stance 4. Without the dragon part hitting it. Oh, boy.
And it's like, yeah, that would be correct if, it would work also on dragons. But the way it works right now, you basically shafted him by not keeping the owl effect, and then shafted him again by making a DC that's inconsistent. Yay. And it's based out of
Woohoo!
something
It was
that's
cool to
out.
see him hit.
The worst part is it's based off of something that's out of your own. What's the word? It's basically out of your hands. You can't do anything
Yeah.
about it. If the enemy has dragons, they have dragon, and you're useless against them.
Boy. Saw him earn Aether Raids. I was just like, oh boy, well, at least I'm not running a stupid pref. I didn't even use him in that one, but anyway.
Ground Fox, whenever that comes out, is also going to be a great option if you want to be him to be
yeah.
more aggressive. I've already shown more or less what he can do, but
I just need to kill a legendary Julia, which I don't think I have the will to do that.
The what? Why
The
kill
will.
her?
Mirror impact.
Just wait for Levitain to come back.
Oh yeah, that's actually it's probably easier. I can kill her. I mean,
You don't kill precious girls. We don't do that here.
Also be my first pair up unit, and I kind of need one.
Julia is goddamn adorable.
I know. I'm like, I see like that face. I'm like, I can't. This is too much.
And it's like the
Also,
kind,
she nukes people. Oh.
it's the kind of face that you would just want to hug. Big hug.
Exactly.
She's so adorable.
Very good. They did really well on that.
Yeah,
Plus the
I'm really surprised considering the artist did like nothing I liked, if my memory serves. And then they come out with Julia.
I'm like, oh.
Actually, let me verify the statement real quick.
Oh.
Who is your artist? Sashi. Oh yeah,
Oh.
they did Julius before, and I don't like how Julius looks.
Julius is all right, I guess.
Like the art looks fine. It's just it looks like a huge block of air on his head, not actual hair, and I just can't get over it.
Hey, he got the hairstyle of FV4, right? I mean,
I mean,
it's a whole big old block of hair on your face.
yeah, it just looks like they took a block of ice and then just like stabbed it a few times to, make the spike in the hair, and then just like
Oh, God.
just put that on his head and be like, it's fine. You don't have hair, we have ice. Well, just color it in the
Oh,
blood
God.
of whatever dude you're killing, and there you go. It's easy.
Oh no, he's killing Julia, isn't he? Oh man.
Actually, it's
No.
the other way around.
Oh well, yeah, it's true, but he says so. But you know,
uh, yeah. Good luck on doing that. I can tell you that much.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Julius's voice actor is fantastic. I do agree.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
I
will say
love it
one thing.
when you.
I'll say one thing about Julia. Base Julia's voice is okay, but compared to Legendary Julia, it's like night and day in terms of
Oh
fucking how
yeah,
good Legendary sounds.
that's kind of how I feel about many of the legendaries. Like they really do step up on the voice acting. Usually.
I mean, in Julia's case, it makes sense. That was the first voice
Yeah.
that she ever got, so it's like, how do?
You have to change it up to be more like legendary. I guess.
Well, I mean, she doesn't really sound legendary. She just sounds very shy, introvert,
Well,
not
oh,
really
okay.
like it does work with her, which is why I like it.
Yeah. Oh, okay,
And
you know what? The one legendary I don't like is all when he's like this, and then he just one shots everything. Oh, okay, yeah, I just picked up a bow,
I
and then
don't
you just
like
one shot
Alm in
it.
general.
That's fair, and that just made me hate it more. I was just like, I didn't know his voice line because I don't have him, and I just heard like this. I'm like, this is the man who comes to your comes into your eighth rage and one shots everything. Okay, fine.
As you do.
Anyway, so dumb.
But yeah, I
Anyway,
should probably get to the next person now.
yeah, this has been more of a rant with Bowie on the side. Anyway, thanks for having me.
Anytime.
Have a nice day.
You too. Alright, so let's see here. Five. Whoop. Where's my... No, there it's not. Where's my generator? Uh... Guess I closed the thing I had it on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Number 5. Bish, it's your turn. Yeah. Hello.
Where am I again? I can't remember the ugly ones. Do you see what I mean?
What?
Yeah, get it, get it.
Oh, god damn
You get it.
it. Of course,
You
that's
have
what you
to.
pick.
Of course, that's what I pick.
I don't understand why you picked that bond, though.
Because the attack death bond is on Summer Hellbindi.
Isn't that the one that once attack res instead?
So it's on the other Hellbindi.
Well then.
I think I have one with like Res Refine, um, the other stance, like I did some mirrored ones to balance them out. Since I had one word distance and one steady stance.
Yeet.
Yeah, everything for my Helvindies and my Oliver. a big boy.
I wonder how you can
So
even do something different with this, to be honest.
I don't know. I mean, it works. It works. That I can say that much. When he was in as an arena bonus, I can tell you it was one of my easiest arena runs ever.
Well, I can imagine when you have a +10 instead of an unmerged unit.
I mean,
That tends to
sometimes
do
I
a bit of
have.
help.
I mean, he was +4 at the time, or +6. But sometimes I use merge units. But I mean, he just took like teeny tiny damages because I did my homework. I I placed him as I should do to I as I should to to make him have +6 to all stats with the def response, so 6 6 11 11,
Hmm.
and yeah,
I
it
know
was
what you
pretty
can do to change to make it a bit better.
yeah. Aside from changing the seal for attack death bond,
Yeah, aside of that, but it's more like support. Like your own support to this unit.
yeah.
Like double drive def on, say, Marth.
Oh, that's what I did actually.
Okay. Alright, see you later,
I mean,
Emmy.
I use what I do is now my Marth has I guess I can say since it's related, but I have my Marth with what is this? Um, you know the Ronald B skill attack cruise or attack fate. The you know you do rally and then it's like a ploy.
Yeah, feints.
Yeah, and then I changed Oliver's C for speed ploy, if I remember correctly.
I guess because he was a bonus unit.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
so he has 30 plus the speed ploy plus the speed tactics and the overall buffs plus the blur.
I can see like a speed set run work on him, actually. Though it would
Yeah,
require speed def bond to become a seal.
yeah. Once
Sure
again,
wish that would
I
be a
I
thing.
I think I would give him a speed def bond actually, so I can remove quick riposte and use like guard or anything.
Hmm. Either
Hopefully,
guard or something like Mystic Boost.
yeah, Mystic Boost can work.
Or actually,
It's
no, low attack speed.
again.
I mean, if you're going to go for a speed set,
Yeah, well, but the advantage of Mystic Boost, as you said, is because I use close counters, so I can really counter dragons. But I mean, I have death anyway, so
just kind of curious to see what that would look like if I'm putting this in perspective. Doo-doo-doo.
also I had to send Oliver because you had one red mage, one green mage. You
Oh,
needed
I don't do thumbnails. I don't do
you
thumbnails for these.
no, it's not for thumbnails. It's I mean it's for to have a pattern or anything. You know you had every other color, so you needed it. So you covered it all, and you were like, yeah, I didn't send other stuff. Also, Oliver is more beautiful than your unit anyway, and I can talk.
Yeah, I struggle to understand what you're saying all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit sick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sick and I'm exhausted from work. It's peace at the time, so yeah.
Oh, this actually does work. You end up with 46 speed.
Yeah.
God, I wish I didn't have to save the image and then post it every time.
Yeah, that's a bit peace to be honest. Also, as I said in the chat earlier when you were talking to Oda, I think you might want to change the side messages like screenshot requirements and how to participate because I think they are the old ones.
Oh, they are kind of.
Yeah.
But it's also
Something.
for people that are just writing what they're saying instead of mentioning what they're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the set I was talking about. Just obviously speed def bond, not speed res, but
Yeah,
yeah.
of course.
Considering two people next to you, so 38 speed, 41 because low attack speed, 46 because speed res bond.
Yeah.
I guess you can run darting stance instead also.
Yeah. That's a possibility.
It does mean you're a bit less bulky in defense though.
Yeah, sure.
But I mean, you get hit only once as a result, so
Yeah.
tends to help a little.
That's true. I mean, also, yeah, I put drawback because he's a distant unit and yada yada.
Reposition
And
tends to be better if you use him as a tank though.
yeah, that's fair point.
But yeah, other than that, it's mostly just changing the support you have and like trying to focus on either speed or defense.
Yeah.
And
It's
what?
hard to see, Oliver workable, I guess, because when he was out, I was like, I wanted to beat him because he's Oliver, but I really thought it was like bad when he was first out.
He was okay. It's just very one trick.
Yeah,
That and the fact you couldn't merge unit back then.
of course. So that was a big.
Yeah, nowadays it doesn't matter what unit it is, they tend to be able to run some kind of speed set to some extent, and this will be even more relevant whenever we get Swift Sparrow as a seal, which is most likely going to happen down the line since we've got literally Sturdy Blow already.
We can see it for like next week.
Maybe. Though I expect Mirror Strike instead.
Yeah.
I do prefer Speed Def Bond becoming a thing though, because my Nagi really, really wants that.
I'd like Solo to become Sensmaker.
I don't know.
I like Solo anyway.
Solos would be really good, but it's just too much, I feel.
Yeah.
It's also more annoying to deal with.
True.
Like bond skills can be annoying, but you can also just kill the unit next to the said unit and the bond is
Yeah.
not effective anymore.
Yeah, you
Whereas
can also.
solo it's like you either kill it instantly or you're in trouble.
Yeah. And also, bond skills are less consistent in the AS hand, so you
Yeah.
can manipulate it to make them split, but
Yeah,
it's
and
harder to make them
yeah,
consistent.
because I mean you could just like make them stick together, but if you do that, you will typically struggle in killing the unit and be safe afterward.
Yeah,
So it's just overall very iffy. That's kind of why I don't want solo skills to be a thing. I can see them being a thing. They would definitely be a great addition, but they would also be a great annoyance to deal with.
yeah, that's the issue. They'd be good in a. They're really usable as the AI skills.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I really don't understand why we still get nothing but attack, speed, def, res, and HP fucking seals from sacred um, squad assault.
because the Batman archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh, they want them all. Both
The
Batman
wit
AAA.
the witch one?
The Batman.
Oh yeah, the garbage archetype that only
Yeah,
has an OTK that's all decent, except it's not great anymore,
yeah.
and that's kind of it.
I mean, it's an old archetype to be honest, but
It's a what?
an old archetype,
A dove? What?
an old,
An old archetype.
old,
Okay.
yeah, old, yeah. And and they want their AAA seals.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Don't even remember most of them. I remember some because of Rata, but it's been a while.
I mean, I remember them because when I was a kid, I tried to play them because I liked the aesthetics,
Yeah.
and they were shit. Back
Like
in the day.
like I said, they had the OTK somewhat decent, but that's about all they had.
No, 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 you don't get it. I tried in 2006. You didn't have the good ones.
I don't even know what we had in 2006, to be
We just
completely
had
honest.
C, and the dragon.
The dragon?
Yeah, they have a dinosaur dragon thingy, and which requires one tribute, and when you trip, depending on the tribute, he gains an effect.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah, it's bad.
I don't remember it, so couldn't tell you.
I can tell you it's bad. 'Cause, yeah,
But yeah, I don't think there's much else to put there. I mean,
yeah,
it's an Altom set. It's kind of hard to really work with this unless they have a speed stat to really like push them forward. I mean,
yeah,
it's something that you can make work, but it's iffy.
yeah.
It's another one of these units that would gain a lot from having access to Blar Fox whenever that comes out.
Yeah.
At least if
And
you want a more aggressive set.
and I think if they ever make an IV access to JB units, entity units, it might be great for him.
Oh, you mean Ivies? Yeah,
Yeah,
kinda.
it is.
Kinda. Just for speed plus if you want to be aggressive, or def
Yeah,
plus if you want to be bulky.
yeah. It allows you to specialize yourself.
Hmm. So I don't know. It would not really help all that much.
Yeah, because he already has one in depth anyway. I think. No, I don't remember.
I think it's attack and res that he gets.
Yeah. Okay.
I think. It's been a while. Let me check.
I mean, of course, it's been a while. It's Oliver.
I'm surprised that his title is not Fat Bastard.
Because no, he's not. He's a good boy. He never do anything bad. He never bought
Oh
slave.
yes, I'm sure about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, he never bought slave. Never happened.
Yeah, it's attack and res.
Okay. Alas.
I mean, it's fine. I don't know what else you could really do with like 3 more speed or 3 more def. It's the kind of thing that yeah you could use with like Fuckstone a bit more consistently,
Yeah.
but it's not really required. I guess attack plus for damage or def plus for bulk.
Mhm.
Eh,
But if he had speed plus, he'd be close to the 30.
to
That's what
who?
I thought. To the 30 speed. He would have 29. I
Sardi?
think
Oh, I think you meant 30. Yeah.
30.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Speed plus, you would have 23 base
29.
speed, so yeah, 29 after merges.
Yeah. So
Merges and
starting from
flowers.
yeah, because yeah, I maxed mine,
Yee.
and if you had that, you could, as you said for the Henry earlier, fuck, sorry for
Henry
the
or Boey?
actually, kind no, Henry has had 30.
Henry
Henry had
had
that,
mirror impact, I believe. Wait, no,
yeah,
or is that
and I
Boey?
mean
I
for the
don't
speed
know.
stats, he had about the same as if Oliver was speed plus.
Yeah, I think he has 22 base speed.
Yeah,
22 base speed and Oliver is 20.
yeah, that's
Hmm.
what even it does for the. So wait a bit, I'll check my mic. 2 seconds.
What?
Here I am. I had to sneeze.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
It's
About
fine.
that. And yeah, I don't think there is much more to say about this dude, this kind of boy.
This fat boy.
So I'll let my spot to someone else, so you know, I can proceed.
Yee.
Yay. So have fun and thanks.
Anytime. Okay, let me see who's next on the list. There's only 3 people now, so it should be a bit easier. If we run out of people, I'm just going to call it a stream then. Joey, you're up. And no, it doesn't seem like it. Corin's the Choose Your Legend 4 candidate. Oh my god, please no. Hello. Scottish boy time. Oh boy. Time for the struggle to begin. Well, he's currently muted though. Oh. I've heard that he had a new headset, so I didn't think that was a problem anymore. Well, that's a rip. Oh, hello.
Oh wait,
Oh, Jesus
is
Christ.
it working now?
Yeah, it is. Let me just lower your volume because you're killing my ears. Alright.
Is it working now?
Yes, it is. Just like last time you asked. I think you can't actually hear me is the thing. They were nice while they lasted. Okay. Well then. Actually, I'm going to be right back and use the washroom while waiting for Joey to fix his shit. Be right back in a sec.
Is that working now? I hope it's working. I hope it's working.
It's working.
The hell are you?
Joey, say something, test.
What is going on?
Ah,
Yeah,
don't worry, he's coming.
you can talk.
Yeah.
Joey, can you hear us? He is not.
So we can hear him, but he can't.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Test.
Alrighty then. Hello? Yeah, I don't think Joey can hear me still. Oh, Jesus Christ, I can hear myself. I am just going to... Okay, I was going to mute him, but he just left. That's weird. I don't understand this. Oh, he's always been there, Bish. The problem is that he can't hear me whatsoever. So, that's the problem. I wonder if he just muted Discord or something stupid like that. Yeah, he was talking before I left and after I left. Couldn't tell you, Joey. Well, what do we do? We're waiting, I suppose. Didn't you have a new mic or headset though? Why did it become a problem? Yeah, you can do it in text, that's fine. I don't see why you couldn't. Who knows? Maybe more people will join. Honestly, we don't know. Sad Scottish noises. Well, kind of surprised that I managed to even stream for what, 2 hours and a half so far. Still got to stream tomorrow as well. Oh god. Oh boy, Python. Let's see here. Okay. Don't even know what you killed for Fury 4. I know it was not female Byleth. Pretty sure you killed a male one for Ruptured Sky. I was going to say Mirror Impact. Then I realized it's Mirror Impact and therefore you can't use it. Jesus Christ. Cav units have like nothing. They really have like just nothing going on. Let me see real quick. Python. I mean, sure. Oh boy. There you go. That works. I hate just how Python has nothing going on for himself. Alright. Give me a moment, because I have to cut the edges. Or do I? I guess I don't. Oh, no, I do. Weirdly cut. I'm aware I have it now. Let me see here. I had to check what I could even do with this. Honestly, vocab, unless they have a pref, tend to be so... like, what do you even do with this? The main thing I can really think of is just running slaying bow instead of short bow with brazen attack speed. Not attack speed, attack res. So you have like 41 deft and 40 res. And with slaying you can run something like Ruptured Sky still. Or Moon Bow, or anything of the sort with Desperation. Or just run attack def, low attack def. To provide some much needed bulk. It's just like, what else do you do? You have like, oh, Swift Sparrow, Death Blow 4, and I think that's it? Ugh. And the stat line is so awkward, you can't even like... Well, I guess you could do this. Hmm. I guess you could combo him into something like Mordecai. But it's like... it's very iffy. As in like, hold on. Why did you guys tag me like 15 times? What was the point of that? But... Oh, I've killed all my Sioux. I have like one left. They got my attention after I fixed everything. Like, this is the kind of thing I would run on Python if it wants to... Oh, nope, not this. What the fuck? There we go. Something like this. where he ends up with 42 def, 41 res, and 75 attack. Well, actually, it's more like 45 def, 44 res, with 68 attack. It's kind of like the most you can really do with him. Close counter, of course. I guess you could use like double brazen set, but it's not exactly worth it. Actually, though, using Slaying Bow here with 1 cooldown because you can just tank and proc immediately, something that, you know, short bow doesn't really do. But otherwise, it would probably be something like a bit more speed, or you can probably run this set as actually with Brave Lucina. If you have Brave Lucina to help you out, you will just take the hit and proc it immediately if you use short bow instead. Otherwise, you will attack, get hit, proc. So, same amount of hits, you still get the kill. The main issue that this type of thing really has is the fact that Python has like a repertoire of skills of like 2 skills. So he doesn't have a whole lot of options. Yeah, a lot of people have Bravelin already, so there's no value in him. Which is why I gave him like a close counter set, because that's something that Lin just can't really pull off too well. But even then, it's just, eh. I'm sure Bravely could do something similar to this pretty decently with just sturdy impact. Oh wait, no, she can't use that. Right, horse units. But this is like the most you can really do with him. Python is just... bleh. No, Bravelin is better than Sue. More attack, no color disadvantage. Just overall better. Like, the only thing you can really bring as an argument is the fact that, oh, Sue has better mixed bulk, but the fact that Sturdy Blow is a seal kind of just makes that point moot. So, you know. Yeah, the fun of horses. Actually, horses tend to be fine, like physical horse units. Like, you can do at least something with them. But when they're ranged, they truly have, like, nothing to work with, because their stat line has next to no BST. They don't tend to have pref, because God forbid that we just challenge the Queen Bravelin at anything. Seriously, look at all the vocab we have. Look how many of them have prefs. Give up? None. None of them have a pref. Yeah, Brave Lucina at least helps a lot in that regard. Because if you have this kind of set with short bow, ruptured sky, first off you get an instant 20 damage because of Brave Lucina. But the 3 attack, speed, def, and res is definitely helpful. You basically end up with 48 def, 47 res. If the enemies attack smoke, you have 55 def and 54 res, which is not bad. Well, yes, you're right. Meister Bogan is one of them. I forgot about that, because it's so surreal that Leaf got a good pref. But like, Leaf was our first Bocav with a pref since Brave Lucina. I want you to take a moment to realize just how insane that is for me to say. 2 years. It took 2 years. In fact, more than 2 years. Like 2 years and a half. Like, Leaf is the first one to truly challenge Bravelyn, because before that it was just, oh, that's cute, but Saki's Blessing. Oh yeah, Claude does have a pref, but his pref is not even that great, so might as well. Claude is just really annoying because he hits a lot of speed. That's just means that you can double him consistently. That's kind of it. That's the only thing that he's got for himself. Ha, brave Roy. More like Ellwood is better than his son. But yeah, this is what I would run personally for Python. It's just, like I said, there's not much to do with this. She suggested something like this, and you said it wasn't this great. This was a while ago, mind you. I don't have Brave Lucina. Well, probably want to pull one when she comes back in like 2 weeks. Well, the close counter set is not that amazing, but at the same time, Python has like a grand total of like 2 sets you can run. You have this, and then you have the Heavy Blade Ruptured Sky short bow set with Fury Desperation. It's not interesting. This is just like I said, Python doesn't have a whole lot to work with. This base version is still okay. Just don't look at the rest. Even his base version for Roy is not that great, to be honest. Who are you even killing? What? No. Isn't your Cronio like +5? Why are you killing her? Just wait. Don't you realize that Takumi will come back on a weekly banner? This is just dumb. He stuck to how good he was in his game. I mean, yeah. Well, to be fair, most of the characters are true to their game, and then you have the one unit where they just completely give up on making the character like what they are in the game. Forsyth, yeah, speed is like tied for one of his highest growths. How about we give him 20 speed, the lowest amount of speed of any lance armored unit? Huh? What? Why? Why would you do that? Christ. Could have fooled me. Oh, the fucking main character of the story for Roy is the Binding Blade, not Roy. You're fine. But yeah, like I said, Python doesn't have a whole lot to go with, so this is really as good as it gets. Yeah, basically. He's actually slower than Lucas. Let that sink in. Oh, please no. I want Pern in this game, but I'm afraid of how much they're going to massacre my boy. Same thing with Lex. I'm also afraid of what they are going to do with him. If they don't give him the golden axe, I'm going to be angry. Oh my god. But at least he has a rest stat. Yeah, you know, the stat that's the least relevant. Oh please. That makes no sense. Anyway, I suppose I'm going to check for who's next. Why do you dislike a V4 though? What has the game done to you? Alright, Darky, you're next.
He will.
Hello.
Okay, so let me put builds. So I'm using what I want to show is Celica and Fjorm, and Fjorm can give Celica the water buff. Should I post the screen where Celica has the free stats from speed and stuff, or without?
With the 3 speed, 3 HP, I think?
Free HP, free speed, yeah.
Yeah. It'd be silly not to.
Okay, so there you go.
Although that's kind of stupid to go for that kind of combo, but you know.
Yeah, my main idea was that Celica, the nuke that she is gonna rush in, kill somebody, debuff with attack smoke.
Yeah, your main idea is 58 speed, unbuffed.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I want to
overkill,
change.
pointless, and just why the fuck are you doing that?
I want to change this IV, but as you can see, it's so far only +0.
I
So
mean, if you go for, I mean, even if you go with attack plus, it doesn't matter. You still have too much speed. The second attack speed, brazen attack speed, is just useless.
so should I just change the second brazen? Because I don't see brazen attack defense or brazen attack res really being useful in Celica, since she's mostly supposed to play her face and she doesn't really have the bulk yet to tank anything really. And
Give me a moment so I can first off get it out. Ugh.
so that everyone can see it, yeah, that would make sense. Also, my Wi-Fi just sometimes randomly dies, so if I somehow leave or something or don't answer, you know why.
Sounds fun.
Otherwise, I had some questions that I wanted to ask you anyway.
Give me a moment. Okay. Alright, so you have speed def link on top of all.
I'm trying to use them on a mixed team with attack as tactics so that they get at least all the buffs. So Celica just really needs attack buff because, as you said, she's overkill in speed.
Honestly,
And Fjord is just
to be honest, the heavy blade is useless. Gotta be completely honest here. You're better off with brazen attack def, brazen attack res. Because you end up with basically the same attack but more consistently, because 43 attack, I mean, it's just not too great. But yeah, if you have Brazen Attack Def and Brazen Attack Res, you're basically looking at 35 Def, 35 Res. And your attack would just jump up by 14, plus the Brazen and the weapon, that's going to jump up to 64. And then the weapon itself, 69 attack. As for the speed, you're at 50, 56 actually. But double Brazen is a bit awkward on her, so instead it's better to just run Fury. Something Heavy Blade can't fucking do. Okay, getting your HP instantly in Desperation range and Brazen range. So it's better to just switch Heavy Blade for just Fury 3. Or 4 if you get too much merges, to the point that Fury 3 is not enough. Because you take 11 damage. So in other words, if you're like at +5 or +6 rather, you're going to have to switch to Fury 4 instead, because you won't take enough damage otherwise.
Okay.
But you'll need Fury 3 with, I guess, Brazen Attack Def, because the speed is just worthless. It really just is completely useless. So you're able, in case you do have to enemy phase here or there, if you have enough HP for it, you can actually make use of the Brazen Attack Def. So yeah, just use Fury instead of Heavy Blade and Brazen Attack Def instead of Brazen Attack Speed. Because as I said, multiple Brazen doesn't really work with her. She doesn't have the bulk for it. And Heavy Blade is just inconsistent. And since you don't have Fury on you, then your HP will get lower. It's going to be easier for you to get one shot, but it's going to be harder for you to set up. So, you know, and you won't be in Desperation range either. You just will take damage, but you won't be in Desperation.
That's true.
As for Fjorm, oh god, what am I looking at? I don't even know where to start, honestly. Because I get it, you have 41, 42, but the bond itself, I don't get it. You don't have the speed to really go with speed res bond with this set. Because you're only at...
The problem is it's still low merge. I want to merge them, but it's, you know, kind of hard. You also gotta consider that I want them both to have ally support. So if the whole shenanigan of Celica attacking, debuffing the enemy, Fionn rescuing her, Fionn would get the bond and 2 to all stats, and the debuff on the enemy with attack smoke from Celica, which would help her surviving more. Now I don't know if maybe I should go with speed smoke, at least at low merges, because as you said, Fionn doesn't have enough speed yet. But I think attack smoke would be good if it would be high merges.
I'd say first off, you don't want to use speed res bond, but rather speed def whenever that comes out. 2, steady breath is kind of overkill. You'd rather want fierce breath overall, since 44 attack is piss at best. Or darting breath if that ever becomes a thing. Probably not, but still. With speed def bond, you'd be at 42, 42 at least on enemy phase, which is, I mean, it's fine. Then with fierce breath, you'd be able to push 4 more attack. But you also don't have this thing counter, meaning you can't just get pelted down by ranged units, so there's that. That's always fun. So I guess maybe distant counter will be better, or just running Lepter and running steady stance 4 instead. At least if you want your rest stat to be more useful than just looking dumb. At least for anything that isn't dragons. God, this set is so awkward. The other thing would probably be needing more speed. In other words, yes, speed smoke could be an idea, though frankly I would say just having someone that can buff your speed in general would be wonderful. Marth, for example, since you're using
Would you really
Celica.
do it because of speed defense link?
31 plus 5, 36 plus 6 equals 42. That is low. This is why I said
You mean
Marth
buffing as in spurs or drives, okay.
drives.
Gotcha.
Well, Marth is not exactly known as a fucking rally bot. Let's just put it that way. No, but that way you can just use Marth with, say, drive speed, and you have 47 speed then. And then with your other buff, you can be like drive attack. Because again, Fjorm has no attack stat, kinda needs that, so you know.
Or I could also just go with Brave Lucina. You know?
No. You can't really use Brave Lucina with this team comp because Celica would get nothing.
Hmm.
Which is why
That's
Marth
true.
is better for this team comp in particular. Because that way you can actually buff Celica and also help her bulk out a little.
Hmm.
And I guess a bit of her damage, I suppose. Besides, what would you use with those two as the fort?
As the fourth. So the fourth slot would be occupied by OG Marth. So then I think I would need a green or a gray
I heard that as OG Morv, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Marth. OG Marth.
OG
OG
Morv. That's my favorite new Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Okay. I think Jamka could work good on a team.
Yeah, Gemki could work. And because you'd have Marth giving 5 attack, 5 speed, it would combo pretty well with Brave Bow. It's just going to be a bit awkward considering Jamki, I guess, would be the one that requires to run attack res tactic.
No, attack rest technique wouldn't even work with OG Marth then.
Oh, that's right.
So they're kind of forced to have two other units, rather it be flyer, armored, or cavalry. I could also just split them apart and use them elsewhere.
Oh, actually, I know who you could use. Though it would require you to use to sacrifice a Mordecai for it.
Attack defense link. Okay, and who?
Attack defense link would be on Fjorm. It would be Caden,
Oh, Caden.
because he comes with speed res link.
Yeah, Caden.
It would give you 6 across the board. It's just literally more stats, essentially. It fixes Fjorm's speed problem. It embellishes her bulk, and
It supports their attack.
fixes the attack on Fjorm somewhat as well, and also increases the bulk on Celica also, because with buffs and Caden, that's going to be 34 def and res, and with brazen attack def, 41 def, which is not too bad. And Caden's a Cav, so it does work with tactics as well.
So who would be the fourth slot if it would be Caden, Celica, and Fjorm so far?
Another thing with Caden also is that you could run Distant Counter on Fjorm and replace Speed Def Link for No See Disrupt instead.
Oh, that's true.
Because you could just run, say, Attack Tactic plus Def Tactic on Caden. And there you go, you have 6 attack and defense. Though it would be a bit awkward at the same time because, I mean, he needs to be the one to get the buffs, meaning your fort would be the one to run the attack def tactic. And he would run a pivot with speed res link, so he can buff himself and whoever the fuck needs the buff at the time.
I mean, Celica could also just run a tactic in the sea.
Actually, she could run both tactics. The brazen is not exactly required, at least once the bane is gone. Since with Fury and her weapon, she basically ends up with 55-51 offensively. and then with the Bane gone, 58, 51.
No, my problem is that I have fathered Heavy Blade forward to Celica. I wanted to know if there's still a use for that.
Well, I did tell you that it was going to be very awkward to use on her before you did do that, so... Yeah, not really. Gonna be completely honest to you.
The only reason I thought it would be good on her is it improves her damage output. It frees up her seal slot because if you would run Fury and you wanted to proc the special, you would need to run Heavy Blade. And that way you have it on the A slot, you still get +5 damage from the true damage thing. And you free up the seal slot, which is then a brazen in this case.
Yeah, the problem is that
from the weapon and the brazens.
the problem is that you're talking about Celica, a character that requires Fury to function effectively with her breath. So it's like one of the worst target to give Heavy Blade to. As a result, at least if you want to be consistent with her. So yeah, it's definitely a bit awkward. Like I said, Speed Def Bond with Vanguard can work pretty well if you run something else in the A slot. And like I said, you can just run a Null C Disrupt with Distant Counter if you do use Kaden with them. A fort unit is really up to you. You can run Attack and Rest Tactic on Celica, or on the fort unit depending on what it is, maybe a healer or something similar. Mostly for Fiorum. I'd say probably you'd want either Leon or Rayson, because they would provide some healing without it being too much. In other words, you can still heal up Celica and keep her in brazen range without kicking her out of, brazen and desperation.
Yeah, that's the first candidate I thought of when I tried to assemble a team for them. Was Leon. The only problem was even that I thought, okay, that is where the weakness with Heavy Blade comes in, because she can't get consistently into Ragnarok range.
Well, like I said, you'd use Rayson and put them next to her only to heal her up without kicking her out of desperation. You don't have to always have her next to her. That would be silly. The idea is to basically heal her up so she can take a hit if required here or there, but not kick her out of brazen range. So just keep her apart from the rest if needed. That's really all it is to it. And at the same time, even if she doesn't get the buff herself in attack, keep in mind that Kaden will be nearby, which means she still gets 6 attack regardless. Because she doesn't really need a million attack, right? She already has 55 attack, and because of Kaden, that'd be 61. Once the Bane's gone, that'd be 64. And that's without a brazen in mind.
That's overkill.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Fury is just overall better in general for Celica. Celica is just that type of unit that can't use multiple, like, triple brazen, like a lot of people are like, oh my god, but I hit so hard with this, whoa! I'm just sitting here like, yeah, you do hit hard with this. It's not good, though.
What if we get a Fury Seal?
I mean, then that would work, but I don't think we'd ever get a Fury Seal. That's just wishful thinking at that point.
It is.
Don't mind me running triple life and death with, like, AoEs on fucking Ophelia, because of course a refine is going to be just life and death. Look at me, I have 5 defense, but I also have like 90 attack with an AoE ready. Are you ready? I'm not.
Oh god. Triple Fury.
That would just be silly. Just tank it once and it loses like a third of its health. If not more.
Triple Fury Eldian.
Look at me, I have Fury 10. Ooh, you are so scared of me, I'm sure. Minus 20 HP. Oh, I'm off dead. What the fuck happened? But yeah, I think that's about all I have to say about this.
So Fury for Celica, and for Fjorm, it's mostly Fierce stance or Darting stance, whatever comes first. Speed defense spawn, if it ever counts.
Well, I did say Fierce Breath or Darting Breath, actually, for the A skill. Or you can also use this thing counter if you plan on using Null Sea Disrupt.
Would you generally say Vanguard is better than Lepter?
Depends on what the A skill you're going to use. That's basically it, really.
Okay, then the last thing. Vanguard or Flashing Carrot Fjorm?
Flashing Carrot is the one that relies on the HP of your foe, right?
100% 2 stats to everything.
Probably Flashing Carrot then.
I see.
Yeah, probably Flashing Carrot.
And the last thing for Fjorm, what IV should I go for? Attack or speed?
Well, the IVs you have currently is fine. It's fine if you run Speed Dev Bond with, you know, Vanguard. If you decide to switch out of Vanguard, that's another story, though. If you run like Flashing Blade, for example, you might want to run Death Plus instead. Or, I think she has 30, 34, yeah? Probably want attack plus or speed plus, depending on what type of speed you're going to reach with this team.
Well then, thank you very much, and have a good day.
Have a nice night. You can go back to your bottle now.
Oh, shut up.
Alright, last one is Thankful Abuser. So, well, do come in. You're the only one left anyway, so no need to roll for that. Ah, stop, Bish. Please just stop. I wonder if he's even still around. He might not be, actually. Thankful Abuser, are you still around? I have a feeling he might not be around. Oh, in general, hearing your own voice is always going to be weird. Believe me, I'm talking from experience. I still hate hearing my voice. I've grown used to it. Oh, no, he's alive. He is alive. Good. But I've grown used to my voice. It's just, boy. I do not like how I sound, even though a lot of people seem to appreciate my voice for some reason. I don't know. This is probably going to be the last person I'm going to be reviewing this set of. Just because, I mean, it's been 3 hours and a half and I still got a stream tomorrow. Probably going to finish an Persona 2 Innocent Sim tomorrow as well. Alright. Except singers. I wonder if singers actually like their voice. For some reason people genuinely think that because Fire Emblem Heroes fans don't play Fire Emblem, it means that Three Houses has a chance to not win this year's Choose Your Legend. Oh boy. Huh. I didn't know that, Pierre. Yeah, Celica won Choose Your Legend out of nowhere, and Alm had like way more votes than anyone else for no reason, I'm sure. Yep. Certainly. Yep. Indeed. I'm sure. Swear to God. Ephraim winning, though, that was a mistake. I can say that much. And now FE7's main cast is done, so I guess, unless they want to rally behind Ninian because it's Eliwood's wife, I just don't expect anything from FE7 to win anymore. And like, what even are the characters that has a shot against Edelgard or female Byleth? Yeah, we have Erica. We have. Wait, is that it? Erica's the only one that got close of winning a fucking Choose Your Legend, as far as I remember. Oh well. And beside, even if we're talking about like Fire Emblem Heroes, yeah, Fire Emblem Heroes fan that don't talk about Fire Emblem. Most people have seen what time skip Dimitri looks like, and most people, if they're just that vain that they go just for looks alone, will just vote for Dimitri. No matter how you look at it. Okay, thankful. Going to wait for him to come back. Like, as much as I like Marth and how much he has, like, all the odds in his side, if it wasn't for fucking Three Houses, There's no way he wins. There's just no way he wins. Seliph has no chances either, despite the fact that he is a very well-written character. I do think Dimitri is on the same level as Seliph as far as well-written characters are concerned. And Claude, while not great, has the pretty boy appeal for the female part of the fan base. And I guess the gay part also. Yeah. Like, no offense, but the male division is decided before it has even begun. Dimitri might as well be the poster child of Fire Emblem at this point. Like, he is so overwhelmingly popular, and most of the reason is because Chris Acne is a fantastic voice actor and did an amazing job with Dimitri. Honestly, after I heard him speak with like the younger version of Dimitri, and I was like, wait, that's just Quan. That's perfect. And then you have like the Gen 2 part, which made me go, okay, never mind, this is just amazing in general. Like, that alone made it amazing. Then you had the part where, you know, the fact that his character is actually good. Like, he has voice acting just as good as. Let's put it this way: his voice actor did such a good job, it's comparable to what Ian Sinclair did with Berkut. The difference, though, is that Berkut, compared to Dimitri, is not a good character, or at least I don't think he is. The fact that he just throws a tantrum over almost nothing, the fact that he just ignores his fiancée despite the fact that they were supposed to get married for a while now and that they were supposed to be madly in love, there's just so much in this that is illogical to happen, and I don't like that. It just feels completely out of nowhere. Anyway, Thankful Abuser is back, so want to talk about your set? But yeah, I would be surprised. Oh, hello. I would be surprised if it's anything but Treehouse that wins. Female Byleth is also kind of pushed forward by Dimitri of all people because, I mean, female Byleth and Dimitri are cute together. As simple as that is.
All right, so you want me to talk about
Yep.
the build, right? Okay. So I just recently thought that like I guess like hey, Athena would be like a good unit right now, since the Desperation Concealed Blade
Mm-hmm.
built this, yeah.
The Desperation Conceal Blade. I will have to talk about that tonight whenever I do record the Refined Tier List update. It is such a mess of a blade. It can pull off some cool stuff, but it's very awkward in general. In a lot of cases, you actually prefer to just ditch the weapon entirely for slaying, because that allows you to run Gale Force better.
But yeah, we just got silent.
Hmm?
We just got silent. Yeah.
I guess the idea is that you use Wrath for the first charge, then 2 charge from Flashing Blade, and then with Desperation proc Luna instantly after that.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a one-trick pony, but it does work.
And I was you know, I think I'm using Speed Smoke, but like I want to like get the build like
Well, for one, she doesn't even need Speed Plus, let alone Speed Smoke helping her.
yeah, so I instead use Defense Smoke because like I might use a dancer on her team, and yeah, I guess that's basically just gonna be yeah. sorry if I cannot even word things correctly.
That's fine. Honestly, one of the things you should do first is, you know, pull a 5-star second one with attack plus instead of speed plus. That's going to help you a ton. Or rest plus, but that's a different story. That's something I'm going to have to cover whenever I do work on the refined tier list. Rest plus is actually quite good if you want her to have mixed bulk, mostly. Athena is the Iris stat line before the Iris stat line. It's as simple as that. High speed, mediocre attack, okay def, and about average res with good HP. That's basically how Ira is in general. Ira has 41 HP, 33 attack, 37 speed, 31 def, and I believe 22 res. So it's pretty similar. Just I think Athena is a bit more res, but a bit less def. She has a super boon in res, which does help somewhat, and that would allow you to have 33 def, 33 res. With buffs, that means 39, 39. So I mean, there's that going for her. It's not amazing, but you can invest in her bulk instead. Instead of using stuff like Fury. Though typically you'll be just switching out of her weapon because her weapon is just... I don't want to say it's garbage, but it kind of is. Because the main issue you run into is the fact that it's a Wodao weapon, yeah? So you have like no freedom whatsoever as far as, you know, build you want to run on her. You would use Slaying Edge for Gale Force, for example. And her weapon doesn't really help with that, and in fact it works against it. And if you use this weapon, you're kind of stuck with 2 cooldown specials, or 3 cooldown if you don't mind being only able to use this once. It's not great overall, is what I'm trying to get at. Still, if you're going to go with a RAF set, I almost want to say just ditch the weapon entirely. Because something you can do is just running Slaying Edge with Brazen Attack Def and Brazen Attack Res. Her bulk is good enough to work with it, and with Res Plus you actually end up with, like, even if you remove Fury, 37 Def, 37 Res or so. So you can just use that, and then with buff have 43 Def, 43 Res. If you have attack smoke, 50 def, 50 res, essentially. And the double brazen also pushes your attack to a level that you can actually kill with. It's very similar to what Ira runs, and with Raf you basically would run Moonbow, because then it only is 1 cooldown. Raf gives you the cooldown, you proc, get hit, proc again. You get the idea. It's very similar to what Ira does, but Ira gets Ragnal Astra. Or what Fur does, but Fur gets a better weapon. If you want to do something that really uses a refine, it's something like you want Special Spiral, and you want either Bonfire or Ignis with Flashing Blade. Because Desperation would make so that if you don't have Flashing Blade for Bonfire, you basically get 2 charge from Special Spiral. Yeah? You attack, that's 1 charge. You proc Bonfire on the next hit because of Desperation. And if you have Ignis and you run Flashing Blade, then it's more so you get 2 charge, you hit once, you get 2 charge from that, and then because of Desperation you proc Ignis. If you don't do either of these things, it tends to be very iffy. Like, the set you're running works, it's just... if you have to deal with multiple fight in one phase, you're kind of screwed. That's kind of the problem you run into. It's not to say that she's like completely horrible and, you know, unsalvageable, but she's really low on the tier list for this reason alone. This refine just doesn't really work too good with her. It's just kind of how it is. It's kind of hard to make it work, though, to be fair. I think she's actually the worst unit of the batch just because she is so awkward to make work with. But it's still a 16 might Wadao, if anything, so you can just refine it to def or res if you want to go in a bulky route. Another thing you can do is just say refine it so your bulk is equal in both defense and res. So not the special refine, just getting more def, more res. And then combo her with Brave Lucina. So you can just take a hit and then proc noontime with it. Of course, Fur does that better because she has a slaying Wadao. In other words, instead of noontime, you can run soul, meaning you can heal for more. But it's kind of just what it is. Oh, Soul Caddy was great when it was released. Soul Caddy worked for her. It's just that now it tends to be a bit too slow to work with. But, I mean, if Lynn runs double Brazen, she can definitely make it work. But yeah, I think there's not much else to say here. I do wish she got a better pref than this, though. It's kind of depressing to see that this is what this is what she got. I'm kind of afraid to see Mia getting a refine. No, Athena was B tier. Spoiler alert, she's B tier in my tier list. Just because, unlike Selif, who's A tier, Selif actually gets 5 attack and death from his refine. So no matter how you build him, you actually get stats from it, and that's okay. But Athena gets Desperation, and Desperation means nothing unless you're the one initiating. So for a unit that has all of the reason she's okay is the fact that she has a good bulk to go with her attack and speed, Desperation is kind of just a slap in the face. That's the problem. It doesn't really help her, and it's honestly overall fairly useless. Athena can actually hit 50 def and res, to just give you an idea. So the fact that they went out of their way to give her Desperation is just a missed opportunity. Her main issue was damage, not bulk. Which for some reason people think it was her problem. It never was. It really never was. She could have gotten Sturdy Blow or Mirror Strike or just a combination of both with a bit more attack. Like 6 attack, 4 def, 4 res when initiating, and that would have just been better. To give you an idea. It's unfortunate, but oh well. Anyway, sorry for being a bit depressing on this one. Oh. Oh. Well, Thankful Abuser just said old again, sorry, but I kind of went for 7 minutes straight. Oops. Yeah, mixed face is definitely the way to go for her. If she had gotten something as simple as a Brazen as a refine, just like Brazen Attack, Def, she would be miles better. Simple as that. Simple as that. Like, it doesn't require something that's incredibly difficult to get. Even maybe like Brazen Attack Res, for example, would be just fine. In fact, she's the type of unit that could actually use triple Brazen. So if her weapon say gave Brazen Attack Def, and you refined her, not her weapon, but her, and you went Def Plus rather, and then you went Brazen Attack Res as the A skill and Brazen Attack Res as the seal, you'd end up being fairly bulky, and you also end up with 21 extra attack. But the fact that she doesn't have that, and instead Desperation, is just... Congrats, guys, you missed the point. The only thing she has low, I think, is her base HP. Yeah, it doesn't have to be complicated. Desperation in a weapon tends to be fairly useless, especially if the unit's ranged. Not the case here, but still. Yeah, it works because she has the Ira stat line. The Ira stat line tends to really work with this a lot. That's kind of sad because right now the way it is, the best refine of this batch is Gordon. Though I will say the base weapons of this batch tends to be quite good. Athena was lame. Athena was basically getting nothing, but while that is true, everything else is fine. Like Sunstone, it's good, but the refine should have been low attack res. Gordon actually got a refine that serves as a cheerleading tool as well as a damage tool because he ends up with a brave bow with 13 might. Athena, well, it's just a wood owl. There's not much to else. There's not much else to it. Tsubaki is like one of the most broken base weapon of this game. And then the refine is not great. Gonna be completely honest with you. It's okay actually, but at the same time it runs into the issue of it lasts until you have 70% or less HP. Or rather less than 70% HP, and then you basically get nothing after the refine. In a lot of ways, I'd say it's better to just refine to res and running double brazen. Oh no, Klein's job has not been hindered. Because at the end of the day, you can just run whatever the fuck Gordon's running and combo this into Chill Death. Or you can be smart and just run Tharja and Gordon on the same team with some way to buff them. Because them together would be able to just reduce the enemy's attack by 4. Or 8, rather. 8 attack, 4 death, 4 res. I kind of hope they won't. Or if they do, they only debuff one stat and buy less stats. I don't know if I would say that they were hinted at by B-Scavs. Hopefully he ends up coming back one day, cause Jesus. Yeah, it gives those units a certain niche, and I prefer that with the way than just, you know, changing that. You'll see. You'll see. I'd rather keep that to myself until we get the video out, you know? I can't tell everything I feel about that. I've already gotten everything ready though. All I have to do is just set it up and, well... Oh, hello.
Live.
Oh, whoa. I ended up not seeing your message until like I was 7 minutes in. But I was just saying essentially how Athena's weapon was not too great. It really is not too flexible, is the main issue. The main sets you can really run are basically, say, like double brazens. Brazen attack def, brazen attack res.
Brazen.
Yep. With like
Uh,
Wrath, and then typically switching your weapon out for Slaying Edge instead. Would say Moonbow and Wrath. Another one you can do is Special Spiral with that weapon, and well, there's two things you can do. You can run Special Spiral with Double Brazen and Bonfire with this pref, or you can run Flashing Blade in the Seal, or a skill I guess, and then a Brazen in the Seal with Ignis instead, with Special Spiral. These are like the main set you can really run with this pref. This pref is just extremely awkward in general. Because it's a Wodao, meaning you can't really run like more skills than just, oh hey, I need Flashing Blade to run a 2 cooldown skill, or I need Flashing Blade for a 4 cooldown skill if I run Special Spiral, and if I run Special Spiral without flashing, I can only use 3 cooldown. Whereas, well, if you had that with a cooldown -1, it opens a lot more options. But yeah, if you really want to use her, like I said, double brazen set with Wrath, Moonbow tends to be pretty good with Slaying Edge. It's kind of similar to the way you use Ira in general. Make full use of her bulk, because she can easily take a hit and hit brazen range. You okay? In most cases, you'll be able to see the sets in greater detail when I'll be doing the refine video tonight. Either way. But yeah, not much else to say. I've already said most of what I had to say about Athena when you were gone, so if you're curious about stuff that you might have missed that I've said, just rewatch the part of that video up to that point, I guess.
okay.
Like I said, most of our sets tends to be, well, not great. Because Wodao tends to be extremely restrictive. But yeah, I think that's about all I have to say for now. I don't want to say too much because Athena is a character I'll have to talk about anyway on the refined tier list update tonight. But yeah, I think I'm just going to I don't think there's anyone else. Yeah, there's no one else. So I think I'm gonna call it a stream here, because there's no one else that wants to go through show me your build. So yeah, I'm just going to move out of Discord and to the conclusion. But yeah, I suppose I'll be seeing you all next month for this. I honestly cannot tell you when I'm going to do another one of these. Typically it's the first Saturday of each month, but it depends. It really depends, because these days school is extremely demanding, so sometimes I just don't have the energy to do anything during a Saturday. So, you know, I'm sorry about this, but there's not much I can do about it. But yeah, I suppose I'm gonna call it a stream here. Have a nice day, everyone. I'll be seeing you all later tonight anyway, so I can record this video. See ya!